Hello, greetings and salutations. Good morning. This is Olivia with Tarot and Olivia.ghostdaddysite.com. That is my website address. Feel free to book a private appointment or we can clarify your daily pick card. Personal appointments are always more detailed and more personal because we put down more cards and I'm talking to you about what kinds of things that you're wanting to hear about. So it's definitely something that it can be useful, especially if you're finding these daily cards, the daily pick cards, useful. It's something that I think you would enjoy. And but other than that, let's go on to what day it is today, because that's something I have a hard time with. But since I've been doing this every day and saying the date, I really haven't had as a hard of time as I usually do. So it is Monday. So happy Monday. It is. I know. No, I don't mean that sarcastically. I think Mondays can be good days. Um, Monday, June 22nd, the year 2020. We are in the midst of our second wave of the COVID here in COVID virus here in Texas, and all over the states and still all over the world. I think most of the rest of the world is kind of, well, we'll see how it goes. Hmm, that's good coffee. In 5 years, we might know better what happened. Maybe. Um, what's going on? It's a dark time. We do know that. I do want you to know that even though I'm not saying it and I don't have a thought of the day about it, Black lives still matter. They matter to me, they matter to God, and they matter to you, believe it or not, whether you feel that way or not. It's kind of a thing. I'm kind of shuffling my cards, even though we've already done the reading sometimes. It just keeps my hands busy. Maybe I should do that on camera, but I'm not going to, because what we are going to talk about now is our little Zuni carving. He's out again today being fed because one of my viewers really enjoyed that part yesterday. So at least one of them. So there is my carving. He may actually be a fetish endowed with a presence or a soul, that we don't know for sure. So we're treating him like that's the case. But we are going to move him over here out of the limelight because earlier I knocked him over, and that's not good. We don't like that. Okay, so have I told you how much I appreciate you guys? Because I do. I overwhelmingly appreciate you guys. While my intention was to um, start doing these videos because I wanted to send hope out into the world. I have gotten so much more back. I would be in bed depressed right now if it weren't for doing this every day. Um, and getting the feedback from you guys. The help and the feedback I've gotten is absolutely out of this world tremendous. I feel like I have professionals giving me free advice. I mean, that is so exciting. I have to figure out a way to repay you guys. Free readings, I guess. Those of you, I think you guys know who you are. Those of you that have really, really been helping me a lot, giving me some advice, give me a call. Let's talk. Okay, so um, my intention, as I said earlier, was to put hope into the world. It's never to scare anybody, only to enlighten, only to help bring this, what I call, it's a daily pick tarot reading, but I think of it as a meditation on the day. It can be done at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, whenever you guys feel like it's a good time, then that's when you do this meditation. So what you're going to do is you're going to observe these beautiful, here's our selenite. It almost glows. It's so amazing. And then we have this calcopyrite, which is a copper ore that is absolutely divine. And then we have this little howlite. He doesn't look like much at first, but he's pretty magical. He has a lot of faces. Let's see if we can find one of them right now. Oh, wait, if I move my fingers, you might can see that face. Let's see. Anyway, there are a lot of little faces. And, oh, look, there's his little Buddha face showing right now. So you can check out these. Here's our lovely Honey Citrine. Whoops. There it is. Almost like candy. Only better. Better for your teeth, unless you bite. Let's see. Let's see. Always remember that you are the master of your own destiny, except when you're not, and that's when you need to let go and let God. And what I mean by that is that these are dark times. Sometimes, we are the master of our own destiny. We make our choices, we make our beds, and then we must lie in them. But sometimes things happen. It's not that simple. I know there are a lot of smarty pants out there that want to make it that simple, but sometimes there are things that happen in our lives, or things that are our lives, that have nothing to do with the choices that we've made, but have everything to do with circumstance. And that can really affect your destiny. Like sometimes you're just born in a hairy place, a place that war is going on. That's not your choice, your decision. A baby. There are lots of things that are out of our control. And that is when many of us seek our spiritual side to help us through, because it really is comforting to us. I have had atheists tell me that they're jealous of my beliefs because they don't feel like they have any recourse for anything. But I'm here to tell you that it is possible to change your beliefs. People do it all the time. People shed beliefs that are not working for them, and they find ones that do. That is possible. So, I never want to scare you with these cards. If there's something negative, we do talk about dark subjects sometimes because that is the nature of life. Um, if things get to be too hard for you, well, if you just need more explanation, of course you can send an appointment with me, or you can just throw me a text or make a comment under this video. I try to answer all my comments. I'm not terribly popular right now, although I feel like the most popular person in the world, thanks to your devotion, and thanks to those of you who are coming back every day. It really just makes, I don't know, it holds me up, holds me in the light, and I appreciate it. Um, I feel like I'm dropping a thought, but we're gonna move on. So, 3 deep breaths. Go ahead and close your eyes. You can do those now. I'm gonna do one. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Sometimes a deep, heavy sigh helps calm our nerves. It's just always a good thing to do. With those 3 deep breaths, you are cleansing. You're cleansing stress out of your body. You are taking in things that you need, like oxygen, and you are grounding yourself in a way that you can utilize your intuition more, and that will possibly help you pick which card you want to pick today. Um, Also want you to know the Black lives still matter. Just because I'm not doing the thought of the day on Black lives, I want you to know that Black lives still matter to me, and they still matter to God. That's that's not me. That's God. That's yeah. I don't care who you are. They matter. Please continue to like and share and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to know exactly when these upload. Sometimes they're earlier, sometimes they're later. Today I've had a few technical difficulties that have set me back quite a bit, but if you hit that notification bell, you'll get a notification, so you don't have to wait around or think about it. You can just know when I post. Now we're going to start with the thought of the day. This thought of the day is coming from my Healing the Mind and Spirit cards by Dr. L. Weiss, MD. I think he's a psychiatrist. And speaking of, we're not supposed to replace this with professional help. If we need professional help, we go do that. Even though there may be one truth, Be aware that many approaches lead to this truth. That's a fact, Jack. There's not just one way to do things. Oh, look, that's what it says on the back. As if I didn't know. I know that my way is not the only way. Earlier, I talked about engineers, and then my phone died. So, engineers know that their way is not the only way. They're really good at that. The problem solving engineers, they know there are many, many ways to solve a problem. Mm. Mathematicians know that. It's it's the same with everything. I believe there are many ways to God, and that means to me that there's not just one path and there's not just one religion that will get us there. Which side is the prettiest side? I think this side, I like that side. So we're going to leave that there, but we're going to move it to the side because guess what time it is? It's time to pick your card. Pick your card. If you need more time, go ahead and pause the video at this time and you can take as much time as you need. So, I'm going to pull over the Honey Citrine card next, and we will talk about what your day looks like. We have the Ten of Rods. The Ten of Rods is a card. It's not necessarily a terribly positive card, but it is something that we need to talk about today. When I see this card, sometimes I think of depression or being overwhelmed, but it's also a card about harvesting and stockpiling. So that just tells me about these times that these dark times that we're in right now. I just don't think that it's easy for you to get through today. Maybe you've been stuck in some emotion, some hopelessness. And that's another thing that this card says is that sometimes it's hard to see outside of our pit that we've dug ourselves into. Sometimes it's hard to see the good in the world when there's so much bad coming at us. I want to let you know that I personally believe that as much wickedness and evil are just dark stuff that we hear on the news that's coming through every day, I do believe there is as much good as there is. And I know good and evil are kind of primary ways to talk about things that are bigger than good and evil, okay? I don't think the world is black and white, but many shades of gray. There's no such thing as a bad person or a good person. There are people who are human, and we all make mistakes. We all do things that aren't so great, and sometimes we do things that are very great, and some of us can rise above and do a lot of good. Anyway, let's talk about your card. Caught in the past. Your assignment today is to try to find something outside of yourself and outside of your feelings to focus on. If you're feeling depressed or sad or hopeless, I want you, as soon as you realize that, as soon as it, like you have a bad feeling, is there any good left in the world, replace it with something else. A song. Write it down. Write down the name of your favorite song. Start humming it to yourself now. When you start having those dark feelings, sing that song to yourself. If you have time, watch a favorite video. I know that some of my clients out there definitely do music therapy. I think all of us do that enjoy music. Even those, I've even known people that are tone deaf that enjoy music, especially lyrics and beats. So nobody's left out of that. So that's your assignment. If there's sometimes a prayer is a really great way to replace this. It can be a prayer of your own making and writing, or you can recite the Lord's Prayer, or a prayer that you are familiar with that brings you peace and good feelings. So that is your assignment today. So we're going to move on, and we're going to pick up the card behind the Howlite and bring that one forward. And we have the Four of Rods. I will tell you today that when I shuffled these cards and dealt them out, that this was a card that was dealt out upside down, Which just means sometimes we read the other side of the card or maybe the darker side of the card. One of the things I see here is this little dog looking kind of sad. So we see these people right here, and they don't look so bad. And we see this kid. It looks like he's with his parents. She's got her broom in her hand. Rods have to do with tools. He's got this little wicked-looking pitchfork. Oh, that dog doesn't look very happy though. When I see this card in the way that it is, I want you to um, I'm missing my. I just got a big brain fart, so I'm looking for a. I'm looking for. So it's a good card and it has good things. It has to do with a new door opening. So something coming along. Um, Maybe a gateway or a journey of your whole family. But why is the dog looking sad? I don't know. So this is a card that has to do with prosperity, however, and possible homecoming. However, there's something about this card that's a little sad today. Um, Sometimes good things happen and we feel sad about them, or we feel like we're missing someone. Like maybe there's a homecoming, but there's something missing. Like maybe a person that should be there that isn't. But mainly with this card today, I want you to look for an opening or a gateway, some kind of way out of a situation that you find yourself in. Um, a way to take your family out, maybe going somewhere, moving somewhere, maybe. Wow, this card I'm real unsure of today. That doesn't usually happen. Let's stick with the gateway and the new growth, like finding different ways to use your tools, maybe. So I don't really have an assignment for you, I'm afraid. I hate to leave it this way. Maybe I'll come back to it. Stay t- skip to the end of the video if you like. Maybe I'll have some more to say about this. Oh, look, the Calcopyrite was the lover's A game. We have been getting this card a lot lately, I feel. And this card has a pretty straightforward, We have these angels here and an angel here in the background that's blessing the union. We have the sun that to me reminds me of the love of God that comes down on us and warms us. We have it's almost like Adam and Eve because we have this tree back here where they ate of the fruit of knowledge and the tree of good and evil. They're not wearing their clothes. That is because they're lovers, but it also has to do with being vulnerable. In order to have a lover, we do need to be very vulnerable in front of them. This is a card that speaks of blessing, but, I want you guys to be really careful not to follow a false love. This card was inverted. Sometimes we can let lust get in the way of what is truly happening, especially in a relationship. Um, I want you to beware of temptation. If you're still in a relationship with someone, but you're really excited about starting a new one with someone else, make sure that person that you were with has some kind of closure before you move on and they understand. That's happened to me before, where I thought I broke up with someone and somehow they didn't get it, and then I'm moving on and it feels like I'm cheating even when I'm not. Things happen, things get messed up and confused. So if you find yourself in a place right now where you're just like in a new relationship, I want you to take a step back, take a few of those cleansing deep breaths, and know that you need to take your time with this. That's all. Just take your time. If this is someone that if this has to do with relationship that you've been in for years and years and years and years, then maybe it's time to put some more lust into it. Charge it up. Get vulnerable with your partner. especially a partner of years, you get into habits and you find yourself maybe not being as romantic as you once were. Spark up that romance again if this is a card that you got when that you are in a loving good relationship that you are staying in. If you are out in the world and you are single, or maybe you're on the brink of breakup or something, I want you to be careful about that new relationship and just take some time to really think about it before you jump into anything that you might regret. And without further ado, we're going to the last one, which is the Selenite. Oof, that scared me. I'm sure y'all can hear that horn honking outside. And we have the Five of Cups. So this particular card, I don't know what to do about that horn. Usually it stops after a couple, but I am so late in this video. I really am just going to have to post this like it is. I'm sorry. This card really, sometimes I think, like, is this horn telling us something about this card? Gaining the experience of defeat. I feel like I've done that with this reading. This reading has just like, I did smudge. I don't think I prepared well enough because I just keep, little things keep happening. I've had to start this video more than I should have. This card has to do with regret. That sometimes we are going to fail sometimes. If you got this card today, just remember that. Don't beat yourself up. It didn't go the way you wanted it to. Sometimes that doesn't have to do with us. Sometimes it has to do with, well, it was supposed to go this other way and it doesn't seem like it's a good way or the way you needed it to go. But stop focusing on the negative and find your gratitude. That's basically your assignment. That horn outside that was honking and bugging me, really, I should have just been appreciative that I can do this today, even if there is honking in the background. I must apologize for that. My neighbors are real noisy. That's not the only thing they do. Anyway, it's a long video, so I guess I'm going to end it. And I always feel regretful when we come to the end that it's over. But we have another one tomorrow, and I will prepare better tomorrow and get this video out earlier tomorrow. That is my hope. All right, thank you guys very much for being here. TTFN, ta-ta for now.